All right, welcome to Command Sack. I'm Ryan,
And I'm Garrett.
and Ken and John are off in hyperspace traveling to uh, their families for this Thanksgiving weekend. But Garrett and I are here, and we have something a little different for everybody. This is a tier list, and we're going to go through Armada commanders after the points nerf the points errata that we have just had. So we'll be hopefully sharing this on the Ion Radio YouTube, or you can just listen to us talk and we'll rank. But we have it kind of displayed, so it might be a little easier in a visual format. But hopefully you'll like it also in the audio format. But um, we're ready to get started, and we have our we'll start with our F tier, and I'll run down our F tier. And Garrett, let me know if you have a problem with any of these F tiers.
Yeah. Well, let's say this first. Our tier list is based on who's the most competitive and can win worlds.
Right. That is specifically what it is in mind. It's not necessarily who is like the best on a day-to-day basis or on a store champ basis. It's who could win worlds. And that goes into a couple of different factors about, do a lot of players play this admiral? Are they going to bring them to worlds? For instance, or how does this admiral match up against the other top tier admirals? So that's it is not necessarily who is the best commander, but it's what do we think they'll do at Worlds, and so we'll come back and we can check this in a couple months.
Yes.
All right, so our first one, F tier. These are commanders. F tier stands for no one is bringing them, and they are not good. And so you are not bringing them unless you are trying to prove a point.
A
So
meme list. Yeah.
yeah, a meme list, exactly. Um, so we got Obi-Wan Kenobi. Terrible. There's just terrible. Admiral
Agreed.
Constantine, General Tag, Mon Mothma, New Draven, Palpatine, Maydeen, Imperial Vader, Republic Anakin Skywalker, and Gar Bel Iblis. Those are what I put out there for F tier.
Off the bat. Yeah. The only one, and we just talked about this, was Anakin. I think he's D tier. I don't think he's great, but I think he can be used in a GAR MSU list.
It's probably too early to put him in F.
Because we don't know. We can make the same argument for Draven, but I think Draven is so hard to use and situational. It's not going to win worlds.
I don't think people are gonna like Draven will take a year to figure out, I feel like. And people aren't gonna in 4 months or 4 months bring a new commander that they haven't really field tested. So
Yeah,
I don't really see Draven coming out there. But Anakin, do you think people will bring Anakin?
I think his biggest weakness is the alternative options are leagues better
Yeah.
to play, which is unfortunate.
But a lot of people got their tickets with Anakin. They might try to, old Anakin.
Yeah, if they're
But he's a popular commander. There's gonna be like 100 people at Worlds. So
yeah, he'll be there. Like I think we'll probably see almost everything, but to win, now he's not going to win.
so where would you put him?
I'm sticking at D still.
D tier?
It's possible, right?
D
Possible.
tier. All right.
These other ones, impossible.
No problem with them. I know we had like 3 people bring Garm to the last Worlds, but I think those are mostly the Steel Strategy guys, and I don't think they're coming to this Worlds. So, Garm, I just want to say about him, Mac, who's a Canadian player, told me the best reason never to use Garm is because if you have a GR75 and you have munitions resupply and you have Ahsoka Tano, you have Garm.
At all
Go get
times with whatever you want.
right. Go get another Admiral. So yeah, no turn restrictions. So the rest of these guys, they're fun, but they just aren't really Worlds material, I believe. All right, so let's start. Our next one is Madi. Madi's done really well lately.
A tier.
A tier.
A tier. The problem with Madi is he can always be used and is always useful. You can plug him into any Empire list and he's possible, except for an SSD, right?
Yeah, won Golden State Games, I believe, with an all
I think
ship.
so.
Yeah, that was Paul flying that one and all. I agree. I have been kind of fooling around with Madi lists, and he's a lot of fun. He lets you fly. He lets you build fleets differently. And
Right.
and most importantly, I've been seeing a lot of copycat lists and a lot of people having interest since Paul won at GSG. So I definitely think a couple of people are going to fly him. He's pretty good.
He's cheap. He affects every ship. And don't underestimate an extra 30 hull points on an ISD or an extra 1 point on a small. It's really, really frustrating. We're trying to
Yep,
blow something up.
totally agree. Now we got a lot of people to get through here. So
There we go.
Ozzel won Nova this
He
year.
did under Nick Latrenta. I think Ozzel, you don't see him a lot. Like massless. He's hard to fly.
He's engagement control. That's what Ozzel is, right?
Yep.
Imperial admirals are specialist admirals. He helps you control the terms of engagement, which is super valuable.
Yeah, I'm gonna say B tier. I don't. He's really hard to be across the board perfect.
B tier.
What do you think?
I'm leaning A, but
I could go A,
but
we got a lot of admirals to go here, guys. We got a lot of admirals.
Part of it is I don't think a ton of people are going to fly him. I think Nick will fly him. I think Nick Latrenta will fly him, but I don't think a ton of people. And that kind of does it for me. And I'll put him in B. He's also cheap. Don't forget that. All right, Piet.
You
could
first.
be F tier. Could be F tier. He's good on a super. He's good on kind of like a 2-ship or an interdictor kind of build, but hasn't had a ton of success.
D tier for me. D tier.
D?
He's only good with interdictor title, so you're stuck there. And why would you ever take Piet when you can take Jerry on your SSD?
I gotta agree with you. I don't see it. Yeah, I would take Jerry, any other admiral, pretty much. He's a less expensive Thrawn kind of.
Yep.
All right, Radis. This is a spicy one. Radis got top eight at Worlds last year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Radis, he's so swing and a miss.
Right.
He can win big or lose hard. I'm gonna say average. C is average. Let's say I'm gonna say C tier admiral.
Okay, so I can't do that to Radis.
That's fine. That's fine.
I think he's A tier, and maybe we compromise at B tier.
Let's say B tier. He's hard to win with because it's gotta be real smart with it, how you're gonna deploy your ship.
On the Armada podcast has always kind of said this. He's like, Radis is the king of like 7-4s, but it's hard to get 10s with Radis. And I just flew Radis in a tournament this last weekend, and I kind of get the difficulty of getting 10s. Like, you're putting yourself in a position to get shot and take some damage. So I have to at least put him in B tier. I mean,
it's fair. It's fair. I mean, he's good. He's good. I've been gotten by Radis every time I've ever played against it, which happens to be against you, I think, every time.
All right.
Screed. One of the original gangsters. I think 2015. He's still good. I put him a solid B tier. You can build a lot of crit lists around him in the Empire.
I like Screed a lot. I think but with Governor Price out there, I just don't think you need him. I don't think you need him. I think he's more C tier.
Yeah, he's good priced. He's a good price to affect. Yeah,
this might be our craziest one. He might be F tier, frankly. Like, no one may bring him to
Screed. You think nobody would bring him? I don't think that's true. Maybe we should push him in the D tier. Let's push him down the D.
Yeah, one person might bring him, and then we
got to keep these top levels clean.
We'll hold ourselves accountable.
Okay.
All right. Sloane.
Listen, Sloane is one of the most dangerous admirals of all time. S tier.
Yes, totally agree. At least, a ton of people are going to bring her. She didn't get top 8 at Worlds this last year.
I think that was because of the meta, though. And it's shifted back to a Sloane meta.
Yep. It is more fortressy meta. It's more, you can bring ISDs and get a big, massive 4 activation. We're not going to see a ton of double onagers.
Your Quasar isn't going to get nuked out of the sky in turn 1.
Sloane is always good, and Sloane and people will bring her and get an advantage. So definitely S tier, because it is going to be a different worlds, right? Like, there won't be the double onager threat. It's just a little bit different. There's more RR2, right? Came out, so can't
R2,
forget that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of random RNG at this Worlds. Like, who's gonna advance? All right, Tarkin, Imperial. This is Republic Tarkin.
Okay. Republic Tarkin. I like this one a lot.
Oh,
so he's flexible, right?
Yeah.
He's the flexibility admiral. There are so many other good admirals. We haven't really a lot of people flew him at the start of his release, but not since.
Yep, including me. I think he suffers from the same problem Garmbel Oblis does. to where you can do what he does for much cheaper with munitions resupply on peltas, and peltas are so cheap.
That's good. Is he F tier?
I'm gonna say D tier,
D
just
tier? I
because he can
respect.
double up command dials and tokens. So
Yeah, I agree. He's at least someone might
he's
bring.
not Garm, but he's not amazing.
Trench.
Ooh,
I I
uh,
I think there's something there with Trench. I
yeah. I don't know if we as a community have really put the effort in to make this guy work. Uh, I think for this tier list, I mean, he almost might be F tier, right? Because he's so hard to use.
so CIS squads, right? He's either I've ever heard he can be your spam, your Confire commander, your engineering spam, or your squad. I think he's naturally a squad commander. Um, only needing that squad token to get a dial, but CIS squads aren't great.
I think his biggest problem is his price.
Yeah,
He's so expensive and situational to the game he's in. And if I'm going to take squads of CIS, I'm going to take Grievous.
you're gonna take what? Grievous?
Grievous, right?
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. He's either D or F in my opinion.
It feels bad putting another Admiral in F, but I think he's F right
I
now.
think so. It's just he's never done anything anywhere. I think maybe Skycake made him perform well at some point, but
He
I don't know if he
he
got first.
he needs a 10-point drop, I think.
Yeah.
I think Skycake got top 8 at the 2021 Adepticon with him
With
because I played him. That's the only reason I remember. All right, Yularen. Admiral
Yularen.
Yularen.
So this guy is obviously good. I'm gonna say Gar Commander A or B tier.
So yeah, he helps you win the squad war, which at Worlds heavy squad meta is super important.
Yeah. He's able to make your Pelta medical frigates activate 3 squadrons without expanding hangar bays. That's pretty good.
I I'm kind of with you on A tier. What do you? I mean, that's.
I think so. I think we're going to see a lot of Pelta Arc 170 situations with this.
I mean, we're putting Yularen above Radis, huh? That's where we're going.
Well, I mean, Radis is good. Listen, uh,
But can you win with Rad? I mean, can you
the
win?
problem with Radis is he swings like he's like an SSD. He either gets a 10 or it gets a 6 or he gets a 1.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Lauren's
we'll
a
find.
solid save 7 or 8 chugging along.
I think Yularen is really, really good. So,
All right. Well, who's next?
all right. The next we got Sato. I think is one of the most fun commanders, but I think he's D tier. I think one or two people will bring Sato.
He's so hard to win. Well, he's so
Yeah,
hard to get his ability to pop off against somebody who's really playing the squad game.
he has helped a lot from the Anakin and the Onager nerf because
Yep.
he loves MC30s. And that's where an MC30 suffered with Anakin. So I think he's D tier. I think someone's gonna bring him. It would be amazing if Sato won Worlds. What do you think? You agree with that?
I could put him in C because I think he's right in the middle of our list of averageness.
D tier. Okay.
In my opinion, like you just said, because of the Onager and Anakin nerf, mostly the Onager nerf, like this, he can get out there and actually do things with his small ships.
Yeah, I mean, he did pretty well with a Hammerhead build not too long ago. I think somewhere in Europe. I forget where. My apologies. He got top 4 at some I think like a WCQ. So the builds are out there. He can do well and should be even better in the post errata world.
Yes.
All right, here's going to be a controversial one. Dooku. I think
Dooku.
Dooku sucks. All right.
I think he's really good if you bid second and have like 2 specific objectives: a banning mining facility and ion storm.
Yeah, I mean, I've never, it can feel bad with Dooku. I think he got what I think Xantos got 10th with him
Yeah.
at Worlds.
And Xantos has got some raw talent that brought
Yeah,
that
he can
fleet
fly
to 10.
anything, right?
Yeah,
So
he's
it's not
good.
necessarily Dooku got you
I'm
there.
saying Dooku D tier. Sorry, Fox.
Shots fired. I agree. I think Dooku sucks. Sorry. I love it. Love it.
Ooh, our hero Kraken, General
Kraken.
Kraken.
Got top 8 at Worlds.
Yeah, he's A tier again.
I think the question is he S tier?
Because of the Onager nerf, potentially.
Onager, Anakin nerf, CR90s are back.
Yep.
MC30s
CR90s,
are back.
134.
I S tier or A tier. So
If I
he's got the
it's
history.
it's
People fly him too, right? That's the other
yeah.
part of this analysis. A lot of people fly Kraken.
I'm trying to think what rebel commanders we have left.
Right there, yeah.
I'm still leaning A tier, but
It's close. All right.
I'm gonna say Kraken's not. Well, we're talking worlds level.
Yeah.
Worlds level Kraken S tier.
Let's do it.
You got Daniel. You got Daniel out there flying him. It's gonna be a problem for you.
Got Respirodius, just crushing it. Yeah, A tier Kraken, first time ever. Here we go. All right, Dodonna. Cheapest Rebel Admiral. He did. I know one person flew him at Worlds. At least one person.
There's so many better options.
Yeah,
for his ability's cool, and like in practice, you think it'd be awesome, but
I'm thinking like C tier.
Yeah, he's I don't know if I'd put him on the same level as Sato even, because you don't get to use Dodonna's ability. Like, how often do you make a opponent pull a crit? I just like maybe towards the end of the game when it no longer really matters, right?
Yeah, I mean it could happen. You could have like a weird, Dodonna's Pride, or I guess that wouldn't work.
I'm saying Dooku D, but or Dodonna D.
Yeah, there's no way Dodonna should be higher than Dooku. I think
I'm much more worried about Sato than Dodonna on the battlefield.
Right. Yeah, because you get fair enough. TF 1726. I think he's underrated.
I think he's good. I think he's C tier, though. He's average.
I'm more towards B tier. I think hard cells are coming back. I think it's with the Anakin nerf, hard cells can come back.
I can agree with it. I could go B or C. He's good. He's a problem
not a ton of
if the
people
person
fly him lately,
efficient.
but I think they're missing out. I think are we gonna put him as the best? All right. Well,
CIS? No, I don't think he's the best.
He won't be the best.
I got my best in my head already. All right.
Who's next? Bail Organa got second.
Listed Bail.
Yeah.
I want to put him in S tier. I think he goes S.
S tier.
The fact that you can do 3 command dials on one ship. He got second in Worlds. Okay. And technically, since Ramadi's been dethroned,
got better.
That list doesn't exist anymore, and Bail's list still exists.
He's better than he was.
Worlds, right? So I'm saying Bail Organa is an S tier admiral.
Love it. The 3 dials in a turn is so powerful.
On a critical moment, round 3, engineer, squadron, confire, or navigate. Game over. Right.
Yep. You get everything you need. I love it. This is spicy.
Yeah.
Grievous.
There's gonna be some rage comments. All right. Grievous.
I think he's C tier. I think he's fine.
I think he's A tier.
A tier.
I think Grievous is going to be the top CIS admiral at Worlds.
I guess how many people of the CIS faction are going to bring Grievous out of like their others?
I think a lot. I think the Grievous double large with a bunch of cheap squadrons CIS meta thing we got going on here is going to continue. The Providence Recusant or multiple Recusants and Grievous and a bunch of cheap vultures and hyenas.
He just hasn't done well though. I can't put it.
But
he hasn't.
But there's only like one. Like that's because so few people bring CIS to these events.
Well, that's part of the analysis, right?
Right. All right. I'll B tier. I'll agree with. Okay. I think he's the best CIS commander. He's 20 points.
Very good.
And if you do him right, you're just refreshing defense tokens constantly.
I mean, I have seen some pretty cool Providence builds with him lately, but all right. Akbar. Ooh. Classic. I think A tier is what I'm thinking. He's just good. He got top 8 at Worlds.
He did.
He's just good.
I think he's better than he was too for the last 2 years because he can go back into his swarming CR90 assault freight Giga drill list
Yep.
So yeah, A
Yep.
tier. He remains A tier. He's
Yeah,
always been good.
he's gonna be your high bid lists, right? That want to go second, get those cheap 7-4 wins. That's what he wants. Riken. I think Riken is prime for a comeback.
You think so?
I do. He's so good. I mean, he is
I mean, he's
again,
good.
not a lot of people I feel like are flying him lately, but was he top 8 at Worlds? Was he what Daniel was flying?
Daniel was flying him, so he's top 4, I think, right? Um,
Was he right? Was Daniel flying Riken?
I feel like he was. I can't remember off the top of my head though.
Yeah.
Um, Riken. Man, you never see him hardly ever.
Right. Right. It's
But at
only
Worlds, they bring him.
yep. You need that security of being able to use your fighters when they get alpha.
Yep. Or your Cham, Sedula, boarding teams, or whatever you got going on. I guess A tier, right?
I think he's A tier. I'm not on. I will not underestimate Riken. No way.
The fact keeping a zombie ship alive till the end of a round after it got blown up, that's
That's
pretty
so
good
good.
ability. Or
Yep.
ace.
Yeah, you
Right.
can
You can lock
activate.
up a whole squadron ball with one zombie ace.
Yep. Ramadi. All right, so he got hit just as hard as almost anybody other than Anakin, who got a
Yep.
complete rewrite. But 28 points. I've put some Onager builds together, and that 8 points really hurts.
Oh yeah.
It's
I think
amazing.
this I think it shoved him down to B tier.
Yeah, I kind of think it's just harder to build with him not being 20 points anymore. I think he's really good.
He's still
Um,
a good ability, but
I think
eight
some of the people that
points.
were flying him are going to fly like more like Sloans or other type of Imperial admirals. So
We saw so much of him because he was 20 points.
yeah,
Right.
well, and he had
So
an amazing ability paired with Onagers, like
mhm.
just an amazing ability. And so he got hit twice, really, with Onagers and his points increase. So
Yeah,
I think B
man.
tier is respectable.
Yeah.
He won worlds,
Mahdi over
right?
Ramadi is gonna get us in trouble. But
Yeah,
all
I
right.
mean he did win worlds, so he
Yeah.
can't. That's out of respect for Ramadi. Thrawn's interesting. Um, I think Thrawn's really good, but
Yeah.
I think he suffers from what you always say about Thrawn is that it's a faction of specialist admirals, and he's kind of a generalist. So I think he's C tier.
And
I
he's
think he's
expensive
and he's
compared to
expensive.
the others.
I think he's really good. I don't think a ton of people will be flying him. I think you'll have a couple. People love Thrawn. I'll say that.
Yep.
Became
Yeah. I think somebody got maybe top 4, top 8 with Thrawn at Golden State with the two
yeah.
ship Quasar Imperial.
I think Mac was flying him. Um, I might be wrong on that. I think Mac was either flying Piet. He was flying 2 ship. It was either
Yeah.
Piet, Thrawn, or Ozzel, and I can't remember.
Yeah. Thrawn's
Um,
ability is so cool, but
all right.
there's just better list building. Grandma Tarkin.
F,
Yeah, F.
yeah, if it
No
hurts,
one's
but
no one's bringing him.
no one's bringing him. That's it. No one's gonna bring you. I think he's decent. But no one's bringing him.
Yeah.
I don't
Drop
think he
it,
is.
drop him another 8 points. Let's keep going.
20 point Grand Moff Tarkin would be interesting. All right, Kraken.
C tier.
I have flown against Kraken and gotten my butt kicked.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, he. I don't think a ton of people will take him, but I think he is good.
Yeah, he's priced high, in my opinion. He could drop a couple points, but
Yeah,
he's good.
I think he'll suffer versus squad heavy builds
Mhm.
because he likes to have 4 hard cells and like PF.
Yep.
And when those fleets get a favorable matchup, you are doomed. But right now, I think that's fair. C tier. Agate, she got a points increase.
Yep. Only 5 points. Now the question is S or A tier?
So we have gotten. I think it's A tier. I think people are starting to bring her again. But I don't think she's S tier.
Yeah, you see her all the time and
Yeah.
more than half of the list. So I mean, it's still good.
Yeah.
There's some ships like the Rebel Providence that need her to like even fly. Same with I mean,
Yeah,
almost all the largest need her anymore at this point.
I'm worried we'll see Starhawk builds like the Fortress builds come back, not just Starhawk, but like any fortress builds,
Yeah.
I just think are not fun to play against. And she is more viable. More people are bringing her lately. Better be prepared to face her at Worlds, frankly. Leia. So
Leia.
I think she's G tier or C tier.
I'm gonna lean towards. There's really specific people who try and bring Leia.
Geek, yeah,
John, for
yeah,
instance.
yeah.
I don't know. I think D tier. I think she's too. I'm not difficult to fly. She's not like she's hard. It's just I don't think like her ability is as good on
She's
worlds level play. She's good for
she
MSU.
she's an MSU commander in a faction of MSU commanders,
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
you don't need her. Is
No,
is my area to
yeah,
do what you're trying to do.
you'd always want Riken, or
Or
Kraken or something.
Kraken. I would rather have Kraken than Leia.
Yep.
Right.
All right, here's a spicy one. Lumi.
Ooh, Luminara. I'm gonna say A tier.
I'm gonna go S tier. I
You
think
know, S
she's
tier.
I
Oh
think she's
wow,
super good.
I'm a
People are gonna bring
Luminara
her.
stan and I fly her. I don't know what S tier. The only reason I would go A tier is because she's not offensive. She's defensive, and generally offensive wins this game with commanders.
Yeah. All right, let's do A tier or A tier. Just not get crazy. She doesn't have the history, I think,
Right.
of doing well.
You always do well, but it's hard to win with Lumi. Like at first.
Yeah, Martuk.
Ooh, B tier.
Most popular CIS admiral.
Most popular, but I don't think the best.
It's fine. I think a B tier.
It did not do well at Worlds last Worlds.
Yeah, but he did well leading up to Worlds. So
Yeah.
I think B tier is fine. I think
I think Martuk's really good against newer players.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good. He's nothing wrong. All right, Jerry.
A or S.
A or S. I think so. Jerry got top 8 with Sebastian's list at Worlds.
Yeah.
I think he's S tier.
Yeah, he's the fact that you can just swing your ships around at the cost of a shield point on your rear.
Right. He's the default SSD admiral, no doubt. But also he because you don't have to navigate with him,
Yeah.
right? He lets you do squads on ships that you might not normally do, right? So he is also like a squad commander because you don't have to navigate with him, which is the sneaky part.
Yep.
So Jerry, totally agree. All right. Last admiral, I'm glad we're ending on him, Plo Koon.
Yeah.
Kind of rising up, kind of like people are doing some fun things and has kind of had some success lately.
I'm
At
gonna
some
say
sword championships. So
I'm gonna say A tier with him still.
A tier with Plo?
With Plo? I think so. Because I mean the whole Gars thing is their squad balls, and Plo just accents. You could take one fleet build, right, of Venator squads and Peltas, and you could plug in 3 or 4 different admirals into it.
So
And
is he okay in like the post matchstick era?
yeah, because
Matchstick's not as good.
I think Matchstick still is good though. Right, he's not as crazy good, but
Right.
I used his relay ability all the time to push things, especially from Peltas, like activate squads from Peltas. Really good.
I can see him doing well. Like,
are you putting him B tier?
I'm A or B. It's hard. I'm not. A seems very aggressive to me, but
I think Yularen and Luminar is better than Plo, so let's put him in B.
B. Okay.
Yeah,
I agree with you there. I like it. So that's actually went a heck of a lot faster than I thought it would.
Yeah. We were much more agreeable than I anticipated.
It helped putting all of the admirals at F tier, I think, ahead of time.
Yeah.
So what are we wrong on? We just did this.
Yeah, let's look at the top here.
I think we're wrong on Radis.
Think he's A tier?
I think he's A tier.
All right, I can agree with that.
And then maybe Martuk is too low. I don't know.
I don't think Martuk's too low. I don't think so.
Ramadi?
We need more stats on Ramadi, really. We don't know yet, right?
Yeah, but we have to be forward thinking here.
There's so many better Imperial fleets now you can specialize with that don't need Ramadi.
Yeah.
Because he was really the king of onagers. So I don't know.
All right, so D tier. Should we move Dooku up to C tier? He has like he probably is better in this meta, frankly.
You think Dooku is on par with Kraken and Sato?
I do. I do. I think he's just better in this meta, and but I feel like everyone at Worlds will know how to play Dooku, so I don't know. I mean, Ion Storm, Abandoned Mining Facility,
And this is Dooku with like a 12-point bid,
right?
bunch of Moonies. I don't know. I get. I mean, C tier is not exactly crazy. Like Dooku's really specific. Like he's not a Grand Admiral to do a
Right.
bunch of different stuff with. Like he's not flexible. So I guess
Yeah.
C. I could call him average.
All right,
He's
let's
not
call him
below
average.
average. All right.
Perfectly
Well,
average Dooku. That's your new name. But all right, so we have a couple of minutes left before our free Zoom runs out. I do think our S tier is phenomenal.
yes.
We got Sloan, Kraken, Bale, and Jerry. I think you could see all four of them make day two without a doubt. Like that's like a no-brainer day two. All four of those guys.
Yep.
So I like that. Highest so we each got no CIS in S tier, no CIS in A tier.
I still think Grievous is A tier, but we don't have. There's no stats to prove it.
Yeah, I don't
CIS
see
is.
many people bringing them.
They're struggling.
I think TF, I mean, when TF came out, people were like, oh my God, he's broken. And you would have a hard sell that would throw 3 reds and 3 blacks, and you're like, yep, he is broken.
Yeah, but TF's problem is like he's not a 25 point or whatever admiral, right? He's like a
Yeah.
57-point admiral with all his stupid boarding or B2 rocket troopers, which
Right.
takes away a bunch of other stuff you need.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And once he's dead, like that machine is dead in the water if you lose him.
And that's probably, I mean, it's probably why they're struggling, right? They don't have, in our minds, at least, our completely, subjective mind here. They don't have an A or an S tier admiral, and that's probably one of the principal reasons they're struggling. So, all right. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. We, fun little something different to get out there to everybody. This was kind of in reaction to the points change and to see and starting to hype up the Worlds event that's coming up. I'm sure people will agree 100% with us and won't have any issues.
Those should be some good comments.
Right. There won't be any need to comment on what we put out there. So it'll just be like, great job, guys. You got it right. So, but this was fun. I've been looking forward to doing this. So thanks for doing it with me, Garrett.
Heck yeah. Good time.
All right. Well, signing off. I'm Ryan.
I'm Garrett.
And this is Command Stack.